I'm that lawn dude, and this is Dirty Jobs. Wet leaves is the chores that they give you in hell. There's so much going on here right now. All right, it's leaf season. This is a love-hate relationship. Some days I love it, and some days I absolutely hate it. If you're in lawn care, you know you know. Let's open up the trailer. We got a big leaf cleanup that we're doing today with the whole crew. We're going to a HOA/condo complex, AKA old people homes. We're gonna do a big leaf cleanup, and I'm gonna show you the different ways I do it. Of course, with leaf cleanups, it's important to have the right equipment. So we got two different styles. We do it with mulching with mowers, and we have a big leaf box, which I'll show y'all here soon. And then of course, you gotta have the right equipment in terms of blowers, because you can't be using no little small pew-pews, so you gotta have the big boys. So let me show you what we're working with. And this is a big debate in the lawn care community. What blower is the strongest? You know, it all comes down to preference, but at the end of the day, there's two that, in my opinion, are a step ahead of the other ones. Also, we got a new toy. Really don't use it too much because I'd rather mulch it up, but this is a little side bagger. But back to what we were saying. We got the brand new, which is stuck. At least new to me, it came out last year, I think. The Red Max EBG, or what is it called? EBZ 9000. It's supposed to be the strongest blower on the market, and they measure blowers in terms of CFM, which is cubic feet per minute, I think, something like that. This is 1250-ish CFM. This is another big contender in the lawn care community in terms of blowing power. The tried and true Stihl BR800. This one is like right around 912 CFM or so. Probably the most popular one, which this is a Shindaiwa. Same exact thing as Echo, which I'll show you over there, Echo 9010. I feel like almost everybody has that nowadays, and it's good. It has like 1100 CFM or so. I just have some issues with them here and there, but they're still good. They're powerful. All right, here is the leaf box that we build pretty much every year. And one thing I've learned is there's no one way to build one of these. You just kind of gotta set it up for what works best for you. Here we have the Billy Goat debris loader. This is the smaller one. 18 horsepower, got a Vanguard on there. Had some issues with it so far, but still does the job because we only use it about 2 months out of the year. Got a tarp over top. We do mount this on the back tailgate. You see this bracket, it kind of goes on the door. Some people say that they have had issues with mounting it on the door because it weakens the brackets and it could potentially mess it up. I haven't had that issue yet, knock on wood. So some people either mount it on the back, or they come over here and they build up some kind of rig and they can mount it on the front and shoot it this way. You don't have to worry about it messing up the door, obviously, but then you would have to manufacture some kind of rig to go in the front. And then they make a larger Billy Goat debris loader. I think it's like 35 horsepower or so. And you really don't ever want to put that on the door because it's so much heavier than that one. You would definitely want to make a rig here that supports it better. And they also have one that you can tow behind you. I think it might be a little bit bigger. Let me know in the comments if you guys have that. I don't know too much about those. There's all kinds of different ways. I've seen some people even mount it to the front of the truck. It goes over the truck, has a long tube here going into the box. So there's all kinds of different ways you can get creative with mounting the debris loader. Like I said, just kind of what works best for you is what you gotta do. 9010. Here is the Echo 9010 that everybody talks about. I have a Shindaiwa version, which is the 810. Essentially the same exact blower, just different brand. Shindaiwa is made by Echo, so it is pretty much the same machine. It's good, it works, it's strong. Kind of hard to start when it's cold, gets the job done. Let's grab everything else.
I'll show you what we'll do.
I like to take this off every time until I'm using it, and then I'll put it on. Because my debris loader is on the back, and I wouldn't be able to see it, so I don't know if it's like hanging off, dragging down the road, and it's just like swirling like this, so, because it takes like, I don't know, 2 minutes to put it back on. The leaf plow. It's a little hoopty. I may or may not have gotten mad when it was windy when I was blowing leaves. It's just, I'm blowing them, it's coming back in my face, and dropped this blower and broke it. I can't confirm or deny. All right, it was me. Tell you what, we use significantly more fuel during leaf season with the mowers because you're kind of having to go over things way more than what you would with just normal grass cutting. With the blowers, you're using those way more. So the 2-cycle gas, like we're filling that up almost every single day compared to maybe twice a week during normal grass season. And that's why leaf season is expensive for you customers. Y'all complain about it costing this and that. It costs more for us. And it's way harder. And it takes longer. The price is going up. All right, so we're at the old people's home. We started out by mulching up a little bit, and then at some point, the big dump happens. If you don't know what the big dump is, that is like 1 week in November, typically right in the middle of the month, where it seems like majority of the leaves fall. And then it just gets too heavy to try and mulch it up. But up until that point, we do a lot of mulching with the mowers, chopping up leaves, and do it that way. So the way we do that is with the mower, and this is essential to have. You gotta have some kind of chute blocking system, otherwise you're just wasting time. So we use the grass flap. That way we can open and close it. It's almost like its own mulching kit. So we go over the leaves, close it up, chop them up real fine so they kind of disintegrate into the grass, and it's almost like a natural fertilizer. Something new this year, I'm starting to run these X blades. There's 2 blades on each spindle. And of course I got the mulching blade. So instead of a high lift, we take the high lift blades off and we throw on these mulching blades that have these teeth so it shreds up the leaves a little bit better. Some people have said that this is kind of a gimmick. Some people say it puts more strain on the mower and on the spindles. I haven't had that issue yet. This is a newer machine and I've only used it for about a month now with the X-Blade, so I can't really speak on the longevity of it. I do see a difference in mulching up with X-Blades. I think it mulches up faster, mulches up a little bit finer, but at the end of the day, it all comes down to technique and how you use the mower. Some people say that the X-Blades gives you too much blowout, so when you're going over the leaves with the machine, it's just blowing them everywhere. That happens with just normal blades, so I like to go over the leaves backwards. So I'm pretty good at driving the mower backwards at this point because that's how you got to do it during leaf season, at least with the stand-on units. So you're not blowing the leaves everywhere. So what I'm thinking, we'll stay together. We'll work here first. We're gonna try to blow the leaves up the right side of the building. And then by that little storage place unit thing that's over there, we'll try to make a pile right there in the front. You know what's crazy? So during leaf season, obviously, we are using these gas units, these gas blowers, because they're the most powerful ones. In California, they banned the sale of gas power equipment this past year. So if you live in California, you're kind of screwed. I mean, you can buy stuff on the secondary market like Facebook Marketplace and stuff, but even then, like some communities in certain areas don't like gas blowers because they're so loud. But at the end of the day, like you have to get the leaves done. You can't be out there with electric blowers, you know, constantly coming back and forth trying to switch out the batteries and then, you know, spending probably twice as long because they're not as powerful. So people in California, I feel bad for y'all. You gotta use the gas blowers during leaf season. There's no other choice. Maybe at some point in the future, the battery technology will catch up and the runtime will be there. You know, on jobs like this, we're gonna be here blowing for an hour and a half to 2 hours. There's good things about this. So you don't need a leaf plow. You can take a mower, pretty much drop the deck all the way down and use that to push the pile. But the thing is, especially when it's dry, there's a risk with that. When you do that, obviously the muffler's right here, so imagine just a big pile of leaves that are dry on this hot muffler. You can see the issues, it can catch fire. I've seen like videos online where the mower catches on fire and they're over here like blowing it with the leaf blower, but all that does is make the flames go even bigger because I guess that's how physics work. Oxygen increases flames or something. Another thing is you gotta make sure this fan right here on the engine, you gotta make sure that that stays clean. Otherwise, you know, you could blow up your engine because it doesn't get that airflow. So that's another thing you gotta pay attention to when you're 1, chopping leaves up, or 2, pushing it with a pile. I'm gonna take this off and we're gonna mulch up this pile of leaves right here. They're blowing out the rest. I'll show y'all how I mulch it. This thing is heavy. So I don't necessarily recommend mulching up leaves when it's wet out because they just don't mulch up as easy. They kind of clump together and turn to a paste, but given that this was so little, we can kind of get away with it. So we're gonna kind of pick and choose where we mulch them up and where we blow them out and suck them up. Did you see that lady, the next door neighbor's just sitting there just watching? That is like the epitome of leaf season. The neighbor is always watching you, making sure you don't blow the leaves that you're working on into their yard. Wet leaves is the chores that they give you in hell. And this place is complicated because one, it's like 30 different people and they all got their own opinion on how they want things done. But two, like they're back there blowing right now, which I'm gonna go back there here in a second. And you gotta go through like layers of gates to bring it out. So it literally is like going through a maze with like little constraints, because each of them have a door and they're all gated and they're probably like less than 48 inches wide. So it just makes it a pain in the ass. Leaf season will take it out of you. I tell you what. How long did that take us? So a little over 2 hours to blow it all out into piles. It should go quicker on sucking it up, but it's time consuming because there's so many different obstacles to this place. You get what feels like 1,000 bushes you gotta go through and blow out. The thing with leaf season is it's so weather dependent. So what I mean by that is when it's wet, it's significantly harder. When it's windy, it's significantly harder. And when the leaves are heavy, it is significantly harder. With that being said, like this past week, for example, we just had the big dump. Leaves have been heavy. We've had a lot of rain, so that's just slowed us down and thrown a wrench in our plans. And you gotta be able to adjust the schedule when needed. So that's why, you know, it's so easy and so nice to have Jobber, because I've been having to play around with the schedule a lot this past week because of the weather. When you got multiple crews like I do, and you're trying to organize and make everything run smoothly and organize the logistics, it could be a headache. So that's why it's nice, because here on Jobber, I've been having to switch the jobs from Tuesday to Wednesday, and then we also actually started on Sunday, so I had to move the jobs from Monday to Sunday. And it's easy because you can just go through the app on the desktop and move a whole list with a couple clicks from one day to the next. So it's nice. So you're not scrambling trying to move the jobs over, then your guys are confused. They don't know what they're doing out in the field. I just think being able to adjust the schedule through a few clicks, like I can go through here, change the date pretty easily to whatever day I want to go to, hit confirm, or even assign it to a different crew just by, you know, clicking like that. So it's nice to have Jobber, not only for the invoicing and quoting and all that stuff, but the scheduling factor is really nice to have. So if you don't know what Jobber is, it's a software that I use to run my business and stay organized, kind of keeping the customers in the loop. Good communication. You can send them texts, you can send them quotes through email and text, and more importantly, it keeps the guys on schedule. They can see their job and their list before they even get to work on their phone, so they kind of can mentally prepare themselves for the day. I highly recommend it. If you want to scan this little QR code right here, you can get a 14-day free trial, and if you decide to sign up, you can use my exclusive discount link below, and the link is in the description, or this QR code. Run your business like the pros do, bring it up to speed in the modern era. Also, a lot of times you'll be blowing, neighbor will come out asking to do their leaves. You can easily input their system on your phone through the Jobber app, and they have a new tap to pay feature, so you can get paid right there on the site by just tapping your phone to their credit card. Cash flow is key. Get paid quick. I'm that lawn dude, and this is Dirty Jobs. So that's, like I said earlier, the smaller Billy Goat 18 horsepower. Does fine with dry leaves, struggles with wet leaves, as you can see. And then when we use that leaf plow and pack it in, it just packs the leaves so tight, you kind of got to break it up before you even start sucking it up because it's so jammed together. You can see me kicking it here and there, trying to loosen it up and make it so it goes into the machine. It's like the machine that the Grinch uses to steal the presents. We're like stealing all the leaves. You know when you walk outside in the morning and it's really cold? That sucked, I'm not gonna lie. That took us twice as long as it normally would because of the conditions. It's wet out. Sometimes you gotta deal with the elements. We work outside for a living, we have no control, and Thanksgiving's next week, so it's gonna be a shorter week anyway, so we gotta get it in while we can. I've never been more happy to cross a job off a Jobber in my life. Boom. Till next time, which is in a few weeks. Not looking forward to it, but I'll miss it once sleep season's over. Psych. So the other crew called me. This is part of having multiple crews. You get stuff that happens like this, stuff breaks down. They can't get one of the mowers started. So they're kind of stranded at one of the bigger jobs that we do where they're mulching them up. So what I gotta do is told the crew that was gonna be with us the rest of the day, they're gonna head out there, meet up with the other crew. Back to what I was saying earlier with Jobber, how easy it is to switch the schedule around and reassign jobs. I'm just gonna go into the app on my phone, go to the account, reassign it to truck 2, save. Now it's on his list, and we'll get the second crew out there to help speed them up. We're getting there. It's one of those days. Wet leaves, stuff breaking. We're hanging in there though. We gotta hurry up and get this in because rain's moving in. We need to try to get all this out. I know what you're thinking. Why not just back the leaf box down here? It doesn't fit. I've tried before. And my leaf plow, this mower doesn't have the attachment for it, so I can't even hook it on there. That's on the other machine. I tried pushing it with this. It's just so heavy. It's not going nowhere. I can just keep driving over it. Doing what we can. By all means necessary. We gotta take Bikini Bottom and move it over here. It's always a pain in the ass one, dude. I don't even know if you can hear me right now because the blowers are blowing. She's dead. Hopefully it's the battery that's dead. Hopefully it's not something else. Come on, baby, start up. Sturdy jobs, I told y'all. Who knows what's in all this leaf down here downtown either. Alright, we'll go back to the shop. I'll see you back there. She's about 3/4 the way full, and normally I wouldn't go and dump it right now, but because this is so wet, for one, I don't like to let it sit, because once it sits, it's gonna get colder, it freezes, and then it just becomes a pain in the ass to dump this. So now we're gonna go do the fun part, and I'm gonna show you guys how I dump this with the debris loader on there, the way I rigged it up, and hopefully it comes out easily. Sometimes it doesn't, and hopefully the girl over here is open. Sometimes she's not. So fingers crossed. Let's go show you how I dump this leaf box. Is she too full? Is she gonna let us dump? Oh, I don't even see no room over there. I'm not dealing with her. I gotta go to the real one. All right, this is the bigger dump in the city. It's the one I prefer to go to. It's just a little bit more out of the way than the other one, but it's cheaper. These people are gonna stare at me when I'm doing this, and these loaders.
And you're gonna have a camera guy. It's the top of it all.
Cool. All right, no shame, right? Okay, let's go. Jesus Christ. There's so much going on here right now. All right. Open the doors up. This is pretty standard how I do with the other, with normal debris when the trailer doesn't have the box on it. Put the pins in over here, but this is where it gets a little weird. Open this up. I take this chain with 2 hooks on either side. I hook it to this right here. It swings open. Out of the way. Then I go to this hook right here. So that way when it lifts up, the door is not in the way and it has room to exit. This is either going to be really clean or really messy. No other option. Wish me luck. It's heavy. That's not a good sign. I gotta jerk it back. That was best case scenario. Look in here. We got a little bit left, but I don't have a rake or a pitchfork to even mess with that. I'm not worried about it. So much going on right now. There we go. That's how it's done. All right, well, that pretty much sums up how leaf season typically goes. Nothing ever goes as planned. It's messy, it's dirty, but we got it done. So if you're still watching, appreciate the support, appreciate the view. Thanks for subscribing. Actually, well, if you haven't subscribed yet, hit the subscribe button. Helps me out, helps me bring better content to you guys. And if you're not using Jobber, I highly suggest you implement it into your system. You can start out with the 14-day free trial. There's a link in the description below. It's gonna revolutionize your business, bring it up to speed, improve your communication with your employees, with your clients, and just, you know, save you a lot of time, really. That's it for today. We got rain moving in. No more work, at least for today. We're gonna hit the ground running next week. So, see you guys next time.